Hey guys, my name is Mac Lawson. My Instagram is at Big Mac Lawson. I am recording now in my room, which is very dark, which is how I prefer it. Hopefully not for too much longer. I have been healing a lot lately, but I have had post-concussion syndrome since about last February. Last March is when I got my serious concussion. And in February, I had a glass fall on my head at a restaurant, and I experienced some symptoms, but majority of the symptoms really kicked in after my bad head injury in March. After my initial head injury, I was extremely emotional, and because of the nature of my concussion, I thought it was due to a life situation and that I couldn't just get a grip on my brain and what was going on. I was crying all the time. I was trying to find different ways to deal with what was going on with me. I was either working out or working or sleeping all day, just frantically trying to figure out what the heck was going on with me. And I was completely burning the candle at both ends. Meanwhile, just nothing could make me feel better, and it was really frustrating because I'm usually a pretty rational and put together person, and no matter what I could do, I could not be either of those things. Then what happened was I ran into a pole at work, which I realize now was probably due to my lack of coordination because of my head injury, because of where I hit my head the second time. Actually, oddly enough, my first two concussions that I got this year were actually, was hit in the head in the same spot, so that's not really good. So I ran into a pole, and then my symptoms ended up becoming just unbearable. The symptoms that I mostly was dealing with, I guess was dealing with. See, I get confused. Like, part of me is just actually kind of dumb sometimes, but I actually just still get confused with my words sometimes. But I would have deja vu a lot. So I would have deja vu 50 to like 150 times a day, sometimes for 10-minute periods. I would feel like disassociation, like just like no thoughts in my brain. Some really like weird sensations that I did not know how to describe. And after I hit my head the third time, I felt almost completely out of body and felt like I was dreaming, and I actually had a seizure. So I went to the hospital, and since then I have been resting. And the most important thing that I want to say about my head injury and my concussion is I never took it seriously because I've had so many concussions in my life that I didn't think that I needed to take care of it. And if I had just really slowed down and taken care of myself back in March, I might have saved myself a lot of rest and recovery time. People do not understand the effects and how drastic they are of head injuries. They affect every single part of your life. They affect your emotions. They affect your motor skills. They affect your energy levels. They affect your mood, your memory. I had like a lot of memory problems. At some points, I even kind of felt like I forgot who I was. There's my dog. And, you know, just really just have not had a grip on my brain. And it feels like if somebody were to take Jell-O and just like smash it up, and like you have to like put it back together the way that it was supposed to be. That's kind of how the sensation feels when you're kind of going through the trenches of this. I've been doing a lot better. I feel like myself a lot more. A lot of the struggle is behind me, but I have lost some friends during this time, and not lost, but they've kind of fallen out. And I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to head injury. And this process would have been so much easier if there was more understanding to what happens when you hit your head. I'm at about 70% right now, but I expect myself to come all the way back to 100 because I'm very optimistic. And I'd say that's probably the most important thing. So thanks for listening, and I'm really happy to speak about this.